Hello there, Sirius here, and welcome back to my disaster save file of Foundation. It's not exactly a disaster, but the church that we've decided to build is definitely eating up our resources and is making our villagers very unhappy. So in this episode we're gonna try to do everything in our power to fix that, so let's go ahead and do that. In order to build this faster, we will need more stone and more builders. So what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and we are going to build another stonecutters camp right here, right in front of it, and we're going to prioritize that. And we are also going to build another builder's workshop, if I can locate it. It's the first building on the list, and we're going to build that right next to it, right here. And that means we will need manpower now, and we're going to pull that manpower from over here. Because we have so many berries that we don't even know what to do with them. We're also going to take a little bit more manpower from somewhere else, but one thing at a time. So that's the builders. So now we will need stonecutters. 3 to be precise. So 3 more stonecutters we're going to have to take from somewhere else. I think we're going to take 2 of the carpenters out and 1 of the woodcutters. This should help. In the meantime, I can fix some of the terrain, or rather the road layout. There's a couple things that I've noticed aren't exactly ideal, like over here. This seems a little too narrow, and then this over here seems like it's a bit of a problem. Yeah. Also, this here is really kind of problematic. Let's go ahead and fill this in. All right. Alright, that works. It's still not being built. Let's prioritize it. I suppose we don't have the tools, so there's that. But through this, we will hopefully increase the speed in which it's being built. I do want to change my path here. I kind of want it to be a bit straighter. So we will go ahead and build a straighter path here. That way, hopefully, this path is going to be prioritized. There was a courier, so let's see. We don't need fish, we need stone, but thank you anyway. Alright, so this is the priority, is to get the church built, so let's speed up through it and I'll see you when we've made a dent in it. Alright, there's a merchant here from the bishop, so let's see. We can sell some berries and some herbs for some bread, and we're gonna do that, which means we're gonna wanna make sure we're not selling our herbs. Let's make sure we keep at least 10 in our storage. There's 2 women here wanting to join the village, and considering that we are losing nuns due to the unhappiness, it's not a bad idea to take them in. Because yeah, they're a lot less happy from the lack of service than the normal villagers. So yeah, gotta keep an eye on that. I've also decided that I am going to change this building. I'm going to move it over here instead. I kind of prefer that, and we might build this out a little bit rather than, you know, have it down here. And instead, this is probably going to become the market square, now that I'm thinking about it. So yeah, we're going to change things around just slightly. I think I'm gonna rotate it a little bit still. Yeah, I like that. supply that. It's going to take a while before all this is obviously going to be changed. But here we go. Let's also make sure they can get around the fountain here. This gives us a bit more room around here for some other stuff. I am still thinking of upgrading this building here. And adding a treasury once I have unlocked it. So we're going to just add a sub-building and we can add that like so. Right, it looks pretty good if you ask me, just fits in there real nice. Might push it back a little, like so, give it a bit of space in the front. Maybe not as far, so maybe we'll just manually move it a little bit. Yeah, I like having a bit of space in front of it for maybe some benches or something. Maybe move it all the way into the tower as well. And then should we rotate the tower? I guess that moves the door. Okay, let's not rotate the tower yet. We might do that later, but right now I don't want to. Okay, yeah, I'm happy with this. Gives us a bit more space down here. As you can see, we're making progress. And I'll speed things up a little bit again, and I'll see you afterwards. Interestingly enough, though, just pointing out real quick, this path is being straightened out. And I quite like that. They're still kind of preferring this path over the path over here. So we might go ahead and fix that. Let's remove some of the trees that are growing directly on it. Maybe that's another reason why we're not taking the path. Alright. And then I suppose this one as well. And why not about one of this one as well. Alright, I'll see you on the other side. All right, it is done. Look at this thing. I've actually decided to remove the towers on the front. Didn't quite like them. I'm seeing some issues here with the roof peeking through there. We might need to fix that at some later point. For now, I'm just happy we have our church. All right. That was quite a bit of work, and in hindsight, I don't even know if adding a second builder's workshop was really worth it. We're gonna remove it, but we might keep the second stone cutter. Might. Alright, let's have a look around. Not much else has changed, obviously, since we've mostly been focusing on this. We do need 3 more brothers, or 3 more monks. So these 2 ladies here, trying to immigrate into our village, we're going to decline. I wish there was like a decline button, but there isn't. You just have to wait it out. Now we can focus on some other things like building out this. I've also made some changes to the road layout here. And I've done a little bit of a change down here as well. And now we can work on getting our bailiff. But all that is going to take some time and a bit of stone again as well. So let's get cracking. I am going to put everyone back to their original workplace here. But I might just keep the 2 stone cutting camps for now. Just for now, because we really need some stone. Alright, So if we are thinking bailiff's office, where would that go? I am going to build the treasury here. But before we can even build the bailiff's office, we are going to have to unlock the first tier here, or second tier of the labor tree. So we're gonna have to build some decorations. And I removed the stables that I had here, so we are going to bring them back. Let me build out a couple of these decorations and then I'll get back to you. Alright, I will admit I got completely sidetracked changing the design of the church because I was not very happy with it, but now looking at this, I think this is pretty solid. We might be able to do a better design down the line, but for now I'm going to accept this. For whatever reason, we're using a bunch of polished stone. We're gonna do it though. I'm gonna use the polished stone. I don't care. We're gonna buy it if we have to. Boom, there we go. And I think it's gonna lose its function again. Maybe, probably not. I suppose. I don't know. Yeah. If it keeps its function, that'll be great. In the meantime, we can plan out some of the other stuff. I have gone ahead and placed some of the decorative things, like over here. We've got a stable here. I'm putting it here because then it's gonna cover up the fact that there's a floating wagon here. And then out here I've put this stable back in place, and we are going to build all that as well, and we're going to prioritize that also, which should give us, we need, I think, what do we need? 25, right? So we need a bit more. This is going to give us 5 if I'm not mistaken. It's not really telling me. Okay, 3 and 2. So that's 10 each, which brings it up to 19. Meaning we will need about, not about, but exactly 6 more. Alright, let's see where we are going to do that. Where are we going to get 6 more? I'm thinking actually we're just going to do something I was thinking about, and that is to use these stables sort of to create a roof over the wood here at the woodcutter's camp. So either here or maybe there. Just make it look like some of the wood is actually under a roof. Kind of like that idea. Yeah, let's put it here. Prioritize that, and then we're going to do the same over here with the planks. I don't know if this is going to disturb the function. I don't think it will, so we're just going to do it. I just want to make it look like they're actually under a roof. Not that it really matters, but it just adds a little bit of a flair. Here we go. So there we go. That should do it. And now we wait again. Alright, we've reached labor tier 2, so now we can unlock a bunch of things. Let's go in there and do that. So we can unlock the bailiff's office, the treasury, perk point, manor house, village architecture, and that's all we can do for now until we get some more influence. Then we can get the tavern as well as the fortifications as well. Alright, that's a good amount of stuff. First up, we're going to go in the edicts and privileges. We can use a privilege now. We can get 10% better prices, and I personally think that that's pretty good. The civic chores is pretty good as well, if you ask me. However, I think the prices are better early on because currently we don't even have that many labor buildings in the first place. If we go into our breakdown here, we can look at the upkeep and what is it? What is it even? Labor building upkeep reduced. Oh, wrong button. That would be what? Labor building. Is it resource production or food production? I don't know. Anyway, most of our upkeep actually comes from a monastery that's minus 36. It's kind of crazy compared to everything else. Yeah, the monastery is just taking the price there. It's taking the cake. It is costing us so much money. The farm, the grange, the berry garden, the herb garden, the chapel. The chapel being 36 is, yeah, it's big. It's very big. Of course, you know, it would only be getting more expensive if it's all done. Anyhow, yeah, the monastery is kind of expensive, but that's just how that goes. Sort of what you have to predict when you build a big monastery like that. Specifically, the church being so expensive. Yeah, it's just what it is. Alright. We've got a merchant here, and we can sell some wood again. We're gonna do that. Always love when I get to do that. Yeah, but let's pick our privilege. I think early on the better prices are better for me. And that would be Northbury, so selling planks, selling gold coins, buying tools should all be better now by 10%. And I think early on this is better than getting the 25% less upkeep, because currently we're only paying like how much in upkeep? I keep pressing the wrong button. Like upkeep for everything that's not the monastery is 5, 7, 20. 25% of 20 is not that much. Once we build more buildings, of course, it'll be better. So we are now going to change this into a treasury. Yep, confirm the switch, and then we are going to build it so that we can have more money. And then we will need to build a bailiff's office. Let's go ahead and figure out where we want to build that. Got a couple new things here in terms of architecture, so we might want to use some of them. I specifically like this manor gate. I think actually that's just an entrance, though I always thought that you could walk under that, but nope. It's just an entrance. Oh, another merchant. Build a village market? No. It just means you're gonna have to get some tents. Oh, speaking of, I actually did switch this tent around, but we never built it, so let's do that now. And I think the bailiff's office would probably be good in this general area as well. Let's put all the administrative buildings sort of in the same area. Alright, there it is, the bailiff's office with a watch post attached to it. Although I'm just realizing that we would be deleting this house down there. We built this there, so what we're gonna do is move that slightly. Okay, apparently we're no longer deleting the house. Okay, so we were basically just barely touching it. As you can see, we would be covering 4 houses with the watch post, which that's really great. And the bailiff's office just looks really cool. I don't know if they deserve that, but hey. Not sure if this is the best place for it. but I felt like we had a bunch of buildings over here, but probably should have some over here as well. So we're gonna go ahead and build all that. And it's also going to provide 12 splendor because of these dormers here, giving 4 each, which that's really great. We could also add a weather vein up here. Might as well. It doesn't cost much, right? Just 1 tool, 5 stone. Not such a big deal. So let's go ahead and build that. I like building these two things together because the bailiff's office needs to have fortification, and of course the watch post provides fortification. Or well, not really. You don't need to have a tower, but you know. Now that I'm thinking about this, maybe I should switch these functions around, right? If I make this a watch post, it would give 4. And this could be the bailiff's office instead. Right, but it would only give 8. Okay, we're gonna do it this way around. Not sure. Supposedly, it's only giving 4 capacity here. But we'll see. We're just gonna build it. And we're gonna make that a priority. Because right now the church is still kind of under construction, and as you can see, we are making good progress on it. Seem to still have that tree, or those trees in there, so I think I'm just gonna remove them so we can see more of the church. Let's have a look around, see what's going on. Money should be okay. Although our upkeep has definitely gone up, and you know, the polished stone has definitely cost us quite a bit. But I've only said we want 10 total, so now that we have 10, we shouldn't be spending that much anymore. So we should be fine. We might need to increase the size of our dorm as well, which that would be easy enough to do. Just so we can have a bit more herbs and I think a bit more berries as well. So we need like 3 more, so if we go ahead and add to this, right. So if we go ahead and take our nun dorms, for example, and could just add onto it in the back here, or just here. Or perhaps in the front would look nicer. Maybe change that to this one. I think in the back is nicer. Yeah. Then we can have a few more nuns, and it's not that expensive, so let's just build that there. Eventually we can scale this up. I would like to have a nice big courtyard and all that, but we're just gonna have to see if we have the space for that. Yeah, it's kind of like one of those things where you run out of space eventually. Alright, I'm gonna speed things up and I'll see you when this thing has been built. It is going to take a while. All things considered, it takes a lot of resources. Alright, so apparently the bailiff's office is done. Looks like we can assign one, so let's see. Job learning is increased by weekly salary, job learning speed, okay. I feel that if I just change the sub-building function to something else, like change that to free build, and then change that back to bailiff, it would actually change this. So, the price bonus of 13% from village, trade price bonus of 13% from village with clergy, kingdom, and labor allegiance. Happiness is impacted 13% less. Okay, so we've got some really good ones here, and I'm going to take Oberlin here for more good trade prices. Although we could also do less happiness impact. No, we're going to take the trade prices. It's pretty good. That's pretty good. So now we've got our bailiff. That I think that took someone away from a job somewhere. Yep, here, Oberlin. Which that's okay. In hindsight, as I'm looking at this, I'm actually thinking maybe I should have swap these things around, right? Maybe I should move the butcher to where this is and move the bailiff's office into the town center. I think I'm going to do that eventually, right? Like I'm going to move the butcher and replace it with the bailiff's office and stuff. We're going to put that in here. It should fit nicely. So if we take this whole complex here and just out of curiosity move it, you can see that it actually would fit really neatly into this little spot here. It would only provide, no, it would still provide, actually I can't tell how many houses it would provide with fortification. But yeah, it kind of neatly would fit in here. We could also turn it around, have the tower down there or something like that. I'm not sure yet. We're going to think about that down the line. The reason for that is that while I did like the butcher being at the town square, I'm starting to not like it so much anymore. Mainly because of the noise that it produces. So thinking of moving it further up or out of the town square and it being close to where we're hunting just seems like a logical thing to do. Alright, and now that we've got the bailiff's office, we can actually go ahead and check out these mineral deposits that are over here. It's going to take 20 days, and as you can see, these ones are relatively close to our village. They're not that close, but they're relatively close. It would only require us, like, what, maybe 1, 2, 3 tiles or so to get over there. It's quite far, but hopefully it's worth it. We're seeing a merchant here, so let's wait for them to arrive. Okay, we can sell wood again. I always like the wood deal. Let's prioritize the guard tower now, or the watch post here. Everything's kind of progressing. I always dislike having things on 3 times speed when I'm looking at things. When I'm waiting, of course, it's good, but when I'm just looking around, I prefer everything just being neat. Right, how's our berries actually? So we have 85 here, 2 there, 45 there. Yeah, we might wanna actually start gathering a few more. We can have 1 more none in there, so maybe we should prioritize this as well. Still gonna be a while until this is finished, so I'll plan around a little bit more, maybe clean up some of my layouts and so on, and I'll see you when there's anything major happening. So I just painted some residential up here because I was planning to take some people in, and then the building popped up, so I was wondering why or how did we have 1 homeless person this entire time. Supposedly we did have 1 homeless person the entire time, but there being 1 space in here means we can take 1 more person in. Unless, nope, this didn't remove any of the buildings out here. And I kind of want to put a path through here. It's going to be a little tricky. So what I always like to do is start with removing the residential to see how much space I'm working with. Alright, and once I know that, I might just have to add a fence or something, because it's not going to be easy to get the forbidden area wrapped around that. It's a bit of a small space. However, what you can do is, if you're not planning, right, if you're not planning to actually build any more residential, the residential doesn't update until, okay, so if you do this, it doesn't actually update until you do that, until you paint with it again. So if you're not planning to use any residential in the foreseeable future, you can just go ahead and use the forbidden tool on the whole thing and just, you know, just go nuts. And I would like to add a road that goes from here through this corridor, so going around. It's sort of my goal here, so let me paint that in real quick. Alright, it's done. The only thing I'm gonna have to figure out is how are people going to get to this building here. And it seems like the whole building all around just has a lot of these bushes and fences and everything, but there is a gap here. So we're going to make that be the entrance, and then as well for these buildings here, I think having this be the gate seems nice. I'm gonna leave this open as well back here. As for this building, it's kind of awkward because the entrance is over on this side. Entrance is over on this side, so I don't actually even really know. Suppose here. Yeah, that seems like it would be the best spot to enter and leave. It's always a bit tricky. And then we're gonna make another road kind of, or like another forbidden path out here, so that people would, if they live there, right, they would either go through here or there, kind of creating like a little neighborhood, something of the likes. We'll see if it works out. All right, my bailiff has found an iron deposit back here. That is fantastic news. This is absolutely perfect. I am hoping that the other one is either also iron or actually stone. Stone would be fantastic, like stone or gold. Don't give me some bullshit that I don't need. We're going to immediately check out the other one. Should be this one. Iron is great though. Iron is absolutely great because now I feel very confident about putting my industry back here. This is grand. And it's a good distance away. We can get the land in between to build farms and everything else. And then we can have our iron industry all the way out here. I love it. Alright. Gonna have to make a plan on getting over there down the line. And then we can start making our own tools. Alright, this is done. And what we're basically going to do now is we're going to make these people work for their houses. We're going to assign them in here. And we're going to paint a patrol area. And I think for now what we're going to do is we're only going to patrol the most immediate. Okay. I was not seeing the icon because it's underneath this. Right. So we're only going to patrol the most immediate houses over here for now. And I think this one as well as maybe that one. I've also closed this off so that they would make this road here that I want, this nice circular road going around here. But eventually, once this road has been established, I can open up the other paths again. We are definitely going to open this one up again, and hopefully they're going to choose whichever path is more beneficial to them. It's a bit of micromanaging to try and get all the paths sort of used at the same rate. But yeah, so as they are going around, currently they don't have houses. Right, so they're not very happy. But as they are going around patrolling the area, they might actually upgrade the houses, and then they will have essentially work for their own homes. This is, however, where I am going to leave you, and I will probably record another session after this. I never quite know when is a good time to end the session, but I think we've accomplished enough, and I'm looking forward to expanding sometime soon. We've had the same 3 territories for a while. I just kind of like to build it out first before I expand. But given that we found iron, I think it's very logical to conclude that this is now a very worthwhile target for expansion, so that we can build our own tool industry. So I'll see you next time when we are going to try and attempt to do that.